Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to War on the Sea, a new real-time naval combat game by Killerfish Games, the developer of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. In today's episode, we are playing episode number 52 of the Allied Let's Play series, looking at Operation Watchtower, the Battle of Guadalcanal. So far, the war is going very well at sea, but not so well on land. That being said, we're about to see a pretty interesting engagement. A couple of moderately damaged American battleships with radar are about to face off against a lone Japanese battleship of the Congo class without radar. I believe the action will occur in daylight, and it'll be interesting to see how things play out. But I think this will be our first battleship versus battleship engagement where the two ships are going to clash. We did have a very brief engagement with the Yamato where the North Carolina took an 18-inch shell, took some damage, and I immediately withdrew from that action and then just sank the Yamato with overwhelming air power. But we're going to see how a Congo class fares against a North Carolina. I think two North Carolina class, or are they Dakota classes? I'm not sure. In any event, we're going to jump right back in. This was taken from a Twitch live stream on my Twitch channel from a couple of weeks back. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Leave your thoughts below, and I'll catch you guys at the end. Task Force 14 is the evacuation, boys. Not the Wichita. Oh, fuck. All right. Oh, I'm still in line. Fuck. I'm still in circle formation. And apparently because of the way the casualties were taken, it's just a messed up circle formation too. All right, so apparently I don't see Task Force 14 on here, so it looks like they aren't in the fight, despite the fact that the game told me they were the ones fighting. These Dauntlesses have already used their payloads, I believe. Yep. All right, so where are the enemy ships? Let's go ahead and pause. So we're behind them. Interesting. Oh, don't you like how the game spawns and instantly they're like, oh yeah, we're firing our secondaries. They're probably shooting at our aircraft. All right, let's get a recognition manual. This is obviously a battleship. It's obviously not ours. It's a Congo. These destroyers are what? Kamikaze, Fubuki, nope. Atakuzi, nope. Lahashi something, nope. Not this one either. Alright, I think it is the Shisho. 2 torpedo tubes, 3 turrets, 1 raised, 2 funnels, 1 smaller than the other. Looks like it. This, 3 double tubes. So this is an older one. This might be a Minakaze. 1, 2, 3 tubes here. That sort of weird style open bridge. Turret. It lacks the turret behind the funnel, so it's not a Minakaze. It's not a Watakaze either. Kamikaze. Looking for that turret behind the funnel. So it could be a Minakaze. 1 turret in front, 1 turret behind, 2 turrets, or 2 funnels even. Turret in front. 1, 2, 3 torpedo tubes, all dual. The rear turrets don't look right. Omi's too small. Oh, it's a Kamikaze. I don't know why I looked at it before and it looked different. It's definitely a Kamikaze. See ya, Colby. Thanks for coming by. All right, so now that we've got the enemy identified, what's the range? 17,000 yards. That's close enough. Just the task force formation. Although that is close to max range for these 5-inchers, I think. I want to set the destroyers to fire on the enemy destroyers. The destroyers will focus, and the light cruisers will focus on the better of the enemy destroyers. So these guys should all have targets. Oklahoma City can fire on the kamikazes. Lead. Washington and the North Carolina will both fire on the Congo. Issue orders for narrow spot shooting to try and be a little bit more accurate. Issue orders, narrow spot fire. Firing at a destroyer, so go with HE. We're at extreme range, so that's the reason for the selective aiming. Okay. Well, the battleships can fire, that's for sure. Go ahead and turn their radars on. Those radars are on. Alright, what's the enemy going to do now? They appear to be turning and forming. We're a little bit, I think we're out of range of their torpedoes, so if we can just lob shells in and knock the enemy battleships out at range, that would be great. You can see the enemy battleship. The Congo has opened fire. Clever Dauntlesses fly in here and provide a little bit of spotting, potentially. I don't know if Dauntlesses, like, do any aircraft provide spotting or just float planes? So this task force is taking some bizarre turns, I guess, to try and follow the guest line, which was to move behind the enemy formation. Go ahead and shift our formation just slightly to turn in a little bit closer. The enemy does appear to be forming battle line. We're trying to close the range. It's not poor Congo yet, guys. We haven't lost, we haven't won yet. Well, that's a pretty good salvo right there on her. Who's she shooting at anyway? I haven't seen splashes in on any of our battleships. Maybe one of the destroyers up here or cruisers? Questionable shot selection for the Congo. Binoculars, boys. What do you see? Enemy target is smoking. Looks like we've already set her afire, sir. One of them is afire. Not the battleship, though. One of the destroyers, I believe, sir. Thanks, Johnson. I love how you get, like, blinded and you get the smoke effect when the guns fire. I also really do like... the only thing I wish they had that they don't in terms of, like, views in this game is a bridge view. Binoculars kind of get you there, but I'd love to have, like, a bridge view. Alright, the enemy has formed up in what amounts to almost like a circle formation here. Their lead destroyer, which we have most of our destroyers focused on. Actually, no. This is the kamikaze. That's not the one we had our destroyers focused on. But in any event, the lead destroyer is on fire. They are attempting to close the range. Still at pretty extensive range, 14,000 yards. Firing carefully while maneuvering. We've got all of our guns in action now on the North Carolina. You can see the North Carolina does have some damage. She's got 3 compartments to the opposite side that are flooded. Go ahead and give her permission to open up with her secondaries as well. Although she may be out of range for those. Still, they'll open up as soon as their secondaries are in range. Meanwhile, the Washington will also open up with secondaries, and the secondaries that are damaged, I think, are on the opposite side of the ship. You can see the ones are on the hostile side are already firing. Cleveland and Oklahoma City can open up with their secondaries. Or actually, do they have any second? Yeah, they do. The good old Oklahoma City, my grandfather's ship. Grandpa! Congo is aflame. Meanwhile, the lead enemy destroyer is veering. She's taken heavy damage. Is that a salvo, or did she take a big hit there? Maybe a little bit of both. A hit high on her bridge there. Good one also on the front of the ship. Lead destroyer again veering out of line, is certainly veering. Maybe not out of line. Looks like the friendlies are following her, but the Oklahoma City's lighting up the kamikaze pretty good too. Congo does appear to have a list, a slight one. I think all of her forward turrets are still in action, however. They haven't been able to bring the rear turrets to bear. Honestly, if I was them, I would be running. But, you know, keep fighting, I guess. Brave, 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 brave. Sir Congo didn't run away. Right, have we taken any hits on these? It's hard to tell because we did take those torpedo hits, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like our battleships are largely undamaged at the moment. We've closed inside 13,000 yards. This guy's definitely going to fall out of formation. He cannot maintain speed. Big HE hit there. Another one along near the funnel. I think OKC's done a good job on knocking this boy out. Did we not target the other destroyer? No, we did. Just not hitting. Did Cleveland target her? Yeah, okay. So we've got 2 enemy ships aflame. One of their destroyers hasn't been hit yet. We got some good hits, good fire, good smoke. Guns look to be doing their job. Our destroyers could aim a little bit better, though. Yeah, this is a scenario or a campaign battle, Westos. So, by the way, guys, let me know if I'm peaking out too high in the audio. It's hard to tell, admittedly. OBS makes it look real close to the red line, but my board here says I'm in the 30 to 15 range, which should be pretty safe, so I'm not sure. But you can see here the enemy continues to return fire. Any of my ships afire? Nobody's afire as far as I can tell. Hopefully no enemy aircraft show up like last time. The enemy must be shooting at our lead destroyers here. They don't seem to be putting any shells near us. That enemy destroyer is doubling back. Fire torpedoes, maybe? Doesn't look like it. They haven't fired torpedoes yet. Fish are still level, but they're circling back. The kamikaze, meanwhile, is dead in the water. Oklahoma City did its work on her. Congo has a major fire on the front of the ship. She's taken damage, listing heavily. One of her forward turrets is out of action. She appears to only be able to train one of her turrets. So we're up against 2 enemy guns here as our battleships rip into her. Remember, the only shells being fired at the Congo are the secondaries and primaries on our 2 battleships. So this is a battleship on battleship duel. And not a good day for the Congo. She's listing very heavily now. Water almost above the casemates in her secondaries. Shells continue to pound into her. Just keep pounding away, boys. She's down. Well, we're gonna go with our battleships at the other enemy destroyer, which hasn't taken much damage. We'll take the spot firing off. We'll switch up to secondaries. Just let her rip, boys. Enemy destroyer won't know what hit it. Switch over to HE also. Torpedoes are training. You can see there, it looks like they're trying to get into a solution. They're going to have to turn right further to get those torpedoes to lead far enough. Hopefully we can hit them enough before they can get their fish out. Kamikaze's dead in the water. We'll let OKC continue to pound her. Fish are out. Enemy fish are out. Formation brings speed up to 30 knots. Full right rudder. Turn into them, boys. We're at 7,000 yards. Now our battleships can't turn that abruptly, so we'll have to see. I've leveled out here, but the rest of the ship should follow with a very dramatic turn. Maybe not though, because they're probably going to try to avoid collisions. You can see the enemy fish in the water, the disturbance in the water up here. All right, we got her. North Carolina and Washington, pivot your fire to the one. Never mind. We should be good then, right? Ha, I can leave before the fish get in. Well, all right. We sank the Congo. We sank the Ashio and the Kamikaze, so 2 enemy destroyers and another enemy battleship sent to the bottom. No damage received. The moderate damage and minor was from the previous engagement, and so we sank 3 enemy ships without loss of our own. I can see which Congo it is if I go into the summary screen for enemy losses and scroll all the way down to see the most recent losses for the enemy. And it looks like we sank the Karishima. So the enemy is now down by 3 battleships of the Congo class and 1 of the Yamato class. I'm thinking bombarding Shortlands makes some sense, given they keep throwing out some task forces or some groups. So let's go ahead and up here and bombard these guys. Task Force 9. These heavy cruisers, I'm gonna send them up into the slot to keep Guadalcanal down. Someone's gonna have to apologize for the Emperor. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and send these battleships up to bombard Shortlands. That's RTB here. These Dauntlesses still have bombs on them, so I mean they've got 314 nautical miles more of range. Might as well send them up the slot to see if there's anything coming that way. And then we'll go ahead and get a fighter task force. No, can't launch any of them. So I guess we'll keep these 4 Wildcats. Well, they're about done on fuel. Enemy fighters coming in on our task force. My Dauntlesses are still technically out there. As long as these aren't actual bombers, just fighters, then whatever. As long as they don't shoot down my Dauntlesses. The Dauntlesses are almost out of the combat zone, so I'm not too worried about them. Enemy fighters, they're going to come in and strafe. But I can leave before they do. That's kind of gaming the system, but I'll do it. Any more fighters get up on that? Nope, not yet. Alright, doesn't look like there's any... Oh, fuck. Well, my Dauntlesses are going to get shot down, probably. Unless we can get them out of there in 30 seconds. And we can! Cheating, but I'll take it. Alright, I'm just trying to see what else is out there. Our Dauntlesses have 135 nautical miles more of range. So why don't you guys go scout out ahead of me? I still don't see any enemy threats. My carriers are almost in the slot. The Hornet's going to go ahead and... Still can't do anything for 0.3 of an hour, huh? Enemy dive bombers. Dive bomber! Enemy dive bomber! General quarters, general quarters. All hands man your battle stations. I should get a sound effect for that. That would be better than my screeching voice. Tormentor01, thanks for the follow a minute ago. Buckner's Syllabus Smaller RVW, thank you for the follow. Runic141, thank you for the follow. I do pay attention to chat. Sometimes. Here they come, flying brave in thunder. 4 Val dive bombers coming in on the fleet, sir. We've got 2 Clevelands in our task force, so as well as 2 battleships, we should be able to throw up quite a bit of 5-inch ammo. We haven't burned anywhere near all of our 5-inch ammo. Fortunately for us, their bombs are relatively small and don't actually do a whole lot of damage. Ack, coming up. Okay, so hopefully we should see nothing blurry. The video was really blurry and bad last time. It's because I was using my CPU to render, when in reality what I should have been using, did we get one of them? Was my GPU. So we got one of them. 3 of them got their bombs off. Right full rudder. Well, we're probably gonna... Oh, we took 2 hits. And the hits did negligible damage. They must have been the 60 kilogram spotting bombs. Or fragmentation bombs, whatever it was. In any event, we shot down the entire enemy attacking force, so we'll continue our movement toward Shortlands. Can Hornet give me some fighter cover yet? Not yet. Enemy float plane. We'll ignore that. Give those boys some cover. As if they didn't already know where my battleships were, huh? Alright, tactical, go engage them. I mean, the enemy will probably be shot down by our radar. So I choose radar here. Why are they ceasing radar missions? Did we shoot it down already? Lol. This is a very brave and dumb float plane. This appears to be from an enemy surface task force, though, with the single pontoon. Usually it's like a cruiser float plane. Not sure what other fleet assets they might have in the area. I don't get when I do that, though. This doesn't appear to turn on, as far as I can tell. Like, I choose to turn radar on, but then none of these other ships' radar actually turns on. Can this guy die already? Living a charmed life up here, boy. Whew. That's annoying. Is he really gonna fly through the entire fleet's anti-aircraft fire and survive? Come on, guys, get him. That 5-inch looked like it hit him directly, and he's still just like, whatevs, I'm good. Our Wildcats are coming in. We should get them. Oh, there he goes. Okay, so that does it for that enemy float plane, so let's go ahead and bug out. And we'll keep those battleships heading north, although I do wonder where that enemy surface task force is. That triggered our... Those are zeros, aren't they? I want to know where that enemy task force is that triggered the float plane. They could be anywhere. I mean, they could be really far away, but... Okay, so we're able to get a duck into a cloud, we'll say. It's 1600 hours, so the sun's going down soon. Oh, what's this? Okay. We've got another battle on our hands. My dauntlesses are out of fuel. I don't think this will matter, but in the event it does, let's go ahead and send our dauntlesses up here. It looks like one enemy heavy cruiser, 2 enemy light cruisers, 2 enemy destroyers are coming at task force 14. Let's move these guys into line ahead formation. I'm assuming I can do this before the battle. Put the destroyers in 1, 2, 3. So we put the battleships at the rear of the line, like universally? Is that a good idea? Or do you ever want to like put a destroyer at the end? I don't know. But 4 destroyers up front, 2 light cruisers, or 3 destroyers up front, 2 light cruisers, and then 2 battleships. So we'll see if it accepts that, but let's go in and begin. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and select all of our ships. All right, I know this one's a little bit on the shorter end, but we're about to start what I think is a little bit of a longer battle. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here and wrap this video up. We are about to have another surface engagement against an enemy heavy cruiser task force. I believe these might be the final enemy heavy cruisers or cruiser that the Japanese Navy has left. So, you know, we sank a battleship early on. I assume a battleship of our own against an enemy cruiser task force shouldn't be too much of a challenge, but we'll see how things play out in our next episode. Until our next episode, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.